Dangal greetings and welcome to our presentation on the toy collection management system developed using Java. Our application allows users to manage a collection of toys by performing various operations. Adding a new toy, removing an existing toy, displaying all toys, searching for a specific toy, filtering toys based on their condition, and also terminating the program when finished. And this project is split into two files. The main that Java contains the menu-driven interface and all the user interaction code, and also this toy.java that defines the toy class, encapsulating all properties and behaviors of a toy. In this presentation, I'll start by explaining the very beginning of our code in main.java. We begin with our import statements, class declaration, and variable initialization. So this line of code, import.java.util.scanner, is the scanner class which lets us to read user input from the console. Then this import java.util.arraylist. This imports the arraylist class, a dynamic data structure that we use to store our toy objects. And this public class main, this declares our main class named main. Every Java program has at least one class. And also this line of code highlighted, this is the main entry point of our program. The Java virtual machine calls the main method of the to start the execution. So this line of code, we create a scanner object named user input to capture input from the console. Then here we initialize an array list called toy collection that will store our toy objects. Then this int user equals to 0. This variable will hold the user's chosen menu option. Then here, the highlighted one, we initialize this variable to assign a unique ID to each toy as it's added. Now, we enter the do-while loop that displays our menu and processes user commands until the user chooses to terminate the program. So let's look at the corresponding code on the screen. And now that we have set our program, let's move on how we add a new toy. Over here is Josh.
Thank you, Mr. Alcantara. Now, let's start with when the user select option 1, our program add a new toy to the collection. I'll now walk you through this code block line by line. We begin with an if statement checking if user command equals 1. Next, we print a header for clarity and increment the toy ID to ensure uniqueness. We then prompt the user to enter the toy name. Notice we call user input the next line. First to clear any leftover new line from previous input. The next program then asks the toy manufacturer dimension, height, width, length, and weight. Afterwards, the user is prompted to provide a numeric input for the toy condition and its additional features, such as a battery operation, sound feature, and interactive feature. Finally, a new toy object is created using all this data and added to our collection. A confirmation message is printed to inform the user of the successful addition. Next, let's see how the program remove a toy from the collection.
So thank you for that, Mr. Pamintuan. I'm Translate Lisa. When the user select option 2, they remove a toy by providing its unique ID. In this block, we first prompt the user for the toy ID. We then iterate over the array list to find a matching toy. If found, the toy is removed and a success message is printed. If not, an error message is displayed. So let's review the code. These are the code for removing the toy. And that's all. So the next is Mr. Taduran.
Thank you, Mr. Twisa. So, we need to talk about option 3, display all toys in our collection. The code iterates through our array list and calls the display toy details method for each toy to print the details. Let's see the code for this functionality. So the code method that will display the toy object details is here. So next, we talk about option 4, allows the user to search a toy by the name. After prompting the user and clearing all leftover new line, the program reads the toy name. It then iterates through the collection comparing each toy name using a case-sensitive comparison with the input. If a match is found, the toy details are displayed, otherwise an error message is shown. Here's the code. So this will be the code for option 4. Um, Next, we'll cover how filtering works and how to program terminates. So the filtering option will be presented by Mr. Villanueva.
Okay, delegating. So now let's move on for the menu option 5 and 6. So first for the option 5, the user can filter toys based on their condition. So it's either new, used, or refurbished. So in the first part of this code block, there would be three Boolean variables. So the first Boolean variable is the valid input. So this variable will tell if the user input is valid. So next is the will continue Boolean variable, which will tell if the code will undergo the filtering process. And then lastly, this available Boolean variable, which will tell if there are toys that are available for the given condition. So we also have here the condition choice, which is a string that will hold the value that the user chose on which condition he or she would like to filter. So next, it will after that it will undergo to a do while loop to continuously run the code block until the user inputs a valid integer. So in the first part, it will show a header and also the choices that the user can choose from on which condition he or she can filter it. So after that, you also have here an if else statement to assign the condition that the user chose and store it in the condition choice variable. So in addition, in each if and else if statement, you have the we will set the will continue to true since the input of the user is valid. So if not, it will go through the else statement, which will display an error message that will tell the user that the input is invalid. So after that, it will display the header filter for and then the condition choice, which is the string variable, which is the condition that the user chose to filter it. And then after that, it will go through the if statement. So if the will continue is equals to true, or if the input is valid, it will go through the filtering process. So under the filtering process, we have the for loop. So the for loop, its purpose is to traverse in each objects from the array list named toy collection. So in this part, it would check each toy objects in the array list if it will match the chosen condition to the current toy object condition. So by doing that, we've implemented an if statement inside the for loop, which will utilize the get condition method, and then the two that to lowercase and that equals to condition that to lowercase. So this is to ensure that the given string, whether it is inputted in uppercases and lowercase, it will still manage to determine if the string matches the condition that the user inputs and all with the condition of the current object in the for loop. So after that, if it satisfies the condition, it will display toy object, the current toy object's details in the console. So after that, the is available variable will be set to true since there's been a match. So after that, it will go through an if statement. So if the is available is equals to false, or in other words, if there's hasn't been no match in the for loop, it will display an error message saying no available toys that are condition choice or the chosen condition of the user. So moving on, after that it will set the valid input variable to true to break the loop, since the code of block is inside the dual loop, and it will only stop when the valid input is equals to false. So next is the option 6. When user chooses to stop the program, it will go through the else if statement user command, where user command is equals to 6. It will first display a message that the program is terminated, and after that it will break the do while loop, since this whole code of block from the beginning, from the menu, is inside the do while loop. So it will only break if the user command is yeah, the loop will only continue until the user inputs command 6. So lastly is the else statement. So the else statement, it will only display an invalid input message when user inputs an invalid input, or when user inputs a number uh, that's not included in the given menu option. So that's it for all the options that is implemented in the main.java. Now next, for the discussion for the toy.java, we'll have Mr. Villante.
Thank you, Mr. Villanueva. And now I will explain the class named toy.java. Our toy.java files defines the toy class, which encapsulates all the properties and behavior of a toy. I'll explain this code line by line. We declare the toy class and then list its attribute, each marked as private for encapsulation. The constructor receives parameters for each attribute and assign them to the object. Notice how numeric inputs for condition and interactive features are converted into descriptive strings. The battery and sound features are stored as booleans. We have getter methods for controlled access to some of these attributes. Finally, to display toy details, method prints the toy's details in a neat formatted inputs. Next, we have Mr. Agaid.
Hi, I'm Alvin Agad, and I'll now walk you through a complete sample run of our toy collection management system. In this demonstration, I'll show you how I interact with the program step by step. So this step 1 is menu display. When the program starts, I see the main menu, which offers the following options. The option 1 is adding a new toy, 2 is remove a toy, 3 is display all toys, 4 is search for a toy, 5 is filter toys based on condition, 6 is to terminate the program. So the step 2 is adding a toy. Adding a toy. Option 1. Ready there. Disney Interface. Yan. So, nilagay na siya sa array list ng toy collection. So, try natin ulit magdagdag pa ng ilan. Gundam. Hindi ko alam spelling. Tortoise with and grounds. Emission. For this. The battery operated. No. Yes. Yes. Yun. So, pa. Ano ba pwede?
Pero ano? Hotmart.
Is the toy battery operated? Yes. Is the toy some features? Yes. It's interactive in mm, 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 mm. So, yung option 2 naman is remove a toy. Enter to edit to be removed. 1. Enter to edit to remove. So, naalis na siya yung in-input natin na isang toy. And 3 naman is display all toys. Ayan. So, i-display lahat ng program yung mga in-input natin na mga toy. So, 4 naman is search for a toy. Enter toy name. Hot Wheels. Ayun. And number 5 option is filter toys based on condition. Pag select natin yung available toys that are new. Ayun, lumabas yung dalawa. And sa 6 naman is mag-exit si program.
So thank you for watching our presentation on the toy collection management system using Java. So in this presentation, we covered every aspect of our project. I provided an overview of the system, its key functionalities, and the initial setup in main.java, including our import statements, class declaration, and also the variable initialization. Then Josh walked through line by line how the program collects a toy details and creates a toy object, ensuring that each toy receives a unique ID. Then we also demonstrated how the program removes a toy based on its unique ID with clear feedback on whether the removal was successful. Then we explained also how the system displayed all stored toys and allows for case-insensitive searching to quickly find a specific toy. Then we broke down how users can filter toy by their condition and how the program terminates gracefully. Then also we examined the toy class, detailing its attributes, constructor, getter methods, and the method used to display a toy's details. And lastly, we walked through a complete sample run that illustrates the full functionality of the system, from adding and displaying toys to searching, filtering, and removing them, and then terminating the program. So we trust that this detailed explanation has clearly demonstrated the purpose of and also the functionality of our code in an organized and easy to follow manner. Thank you for watching.